It's Thursday the 16th of December. Welcome to the Narrowbit that James built. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. Today's Thursday, my first of 2 days off work, and I need to finish the bed support cum shoe storage thing in the bedroom. First off, I've got to cut up all this oak. So this original board, which is 18mm thick, is being a bit of an issue because when I put these cut bits of oak back, even though I've done it as kind of close to it as I can, it's not quite covering this. The other problem with this is that it's fixed in place. So I'm going to use the remaining offcut from that board, which just fits in there, so that's pretty handy. Get rid of that 18mm, replace it with a 9mm, and therefore I can lop off a bit of that edge there to make it cleaner, and it'll overhang a little bit there. And then that board will be removable, same as this. And it'll match. That's the plan anyway. Well, you've guessed it. I've got to change the floor tiles, which is no bad thing because these ones here, where the oak is resting on it, I want it to be coming up a little bit because I need the oak at the top to be sitting proud enough so that the pine slats can kind of fit within that, or at least be at the same height. So raising that up by a mil won't be a bad thing. And now I've got the new board cut out for that piece there. Obviously it's not as wide, so not as thick. Luckily though, first I've got some spare tiles, but it just means there's a seam there, so I can put a little fill-in bit there. This tile can change, and that tile there, so it's not too bad. What I've done is put a bit of floor tile on the bottom of this one here, just to raise the level up a little bit. These all need to be trimmed down a little bit again, but I've had to do that so that when the board goes on the top, it kind of fits with inside that, so that's a nice flush edge. So that's and you can't really see it, well, you can't notice it at all from the bottom. So now I need to go about sorting all these out. I think actually some of them are all right. The edge is still okay. That one doesn't look right, does it? There we go. And then that fits in nicely. Right. Right, that's that last bit done. Excellent. I'll have to come to that, but next one is all of these guys. That's going to fit in there nicely. I'm hoping I can get away with just one screw in each one. They're all quite flat. Well, I'll select the flattest ones I can. Right, let's get started. I was meant to have pre-selected all of these last night, but I didn't get around to it. So I'm going to do it as I go. So now I've got to work out how far out this lip should be. I'm reckoning it should probably come out by about 1 centimetre. I reckon that'll be fine. Don't want it to be any more than that. Yeah, let's give that a go. Okay, I've opted for a length of 16. They're all going to be shaped though, a little bit like the rounded edge of that. Well, it works all right, but I'm going to shape it and then see how much kind of overhang there's going to be, because obviously some of the edges are going to disappear. It. These are the only two I've sanded to any kind of degree. The rest of them are all rough cut, but I think that is going to look pretty good. I think actually once I've got some wax on it or something, that's going to look not too dissimilar to the oak. I'll paint that green and I'll put some detail on there as well. Now the only thing I've got to kind of contend with is what to do up this end. I've got the bit of oak which basically comes in line with there. It's a case of whether I tuck this behind. How I was going to do it is have the door being able to slide behind that oak to kind of give it a nice trap, but now I've got a bit more room to play with here. I'm thinking I might not need to do that and push it all the way back. And if I push it all the way back, I can have it in line with that one up there. But then I'm going to need to do something here because the next plank won't come up to there. So I'm going to have a little gap of like that much, which is a little bit annoying. So what I'm thinking I might do, instead of having a very thin one, is having on this one here, having it slightly wider and cutting it from that stuff. Got to work out the best way to do that, but pretty happy with that. Now I've got to screw them all in. I reckon I will get away with one screw top and bottom in each one. Thank goodness. Okay, I've thought long and hard about this. I think what I'm going to do is tuck those bits in, because all those edges are the finished edges which I'd already previously done, and all the edges there which you can't quite see if I move this away without them falling over. Oh no, they're all going to fall over. I don't know if you can see through there. Those are all the unfinished edges, and there's gaps and stuff like that because of the angles. So what I'm thinking, but I can get a nice edge on that, a nice line on that one there, like that. So I'll attach those in there like that. It means I don't have to do anything to those edges, but the only thing I need to do is then trim this one down by 20mm, something like that, and then it will fit against that edge there. Granted, then those doors are not going to be the same. Oops, they're not going to be the same size, but you're not really notice it anyway. That one's going to be a little bit smaller than that one, but then that one is a little bit smaller than that one, so it might look actually okay. Okay, so progress is being made. All of those are in place, all of those ones are in place. That one opens. That one has been trimmed down, so that opens on the outside of that. So granted, you see a bit of an ugly line there, but only when that's open. And that one opens. So what I need to do now is cut more of these. And this one here needs to be trimmed out a little bit. And then the one going across here, I didn't really think of this at the time. All I'm going to do is use one of the long ones and trim a bit out. And it's just going to, well, hopefully it will look all right. Yeah, that's the plan. Made a bit of a mistake though, doing all the cutting and sawdust and stuff in these little fluffy slippers. Look like the honey monster now. All right, this is the piece. Let's see if this fits in. Okay. Well, yeah, that's all right. It's going to continue the pattern and the theme, I guess. Once I've done these edges and put some wax on it, I'm hoping that's going to be pretty good. Okay, a few more to do. I've got to scribe all these edges now. This is a bit of a mission, this one. Normal everyday standard double bed mode with a step come shoe cupboard there. This is leaving some space with a double bed for the twins mode. And that's what it's like in tall girl mode. Well, I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I need to still sand down all the sides and then wax them all and everything, but just the fact that it just looks really good. It kind of marries in nicely with the bed. It just completes this area. From the kind of the dinette area, this looks really good now. I'm going to colour these in, paint them, and then hopefully it'll look better. This will darken slightly once the wax is on it. But this has really kind of made me think that I need a lot more of this along the boat. This impedes not at all. This bit does, because it's proud of the wall, but the bits there underneath the gunnel are tucked well underneath the gunnel. Your feet don't get in the way at all, or it doesn't get in the way of the feet at all. So I think I'm gonna do more of this. One thing I did put in there just as a test was my guitar, and it fitted in nicely. I'm thinking that might be a good place to put a guitar if I could ventilate it quite nicely, but also protect it from any moisture and keep it nice and dry and padded and stuff like that. But not a bad shout to put it under there. But yeah, I'm gonna use more of this. I think maybe a bit in the bathroom for towels and stuff makes sense, and then, well, maybe down towards the fireplace. I can't have the whole lot with it, but yeah, anyway, I'm well chuffed with this, but it needs a bit more work to finish it, but then yeah, that'll be fine. I'll crack on with that a bit tomorrow. Obviously I didn't move the boat today. Dave on Narrowboat Furbob texted me this morning saying, do you fancy moving it tomorrow together? So thought, yeah, might as well. There's a few locks to get through, so obviously it'll be much quicker with Dave and I together. So that will be the plan. I'll move it down. Don't know how far Dave's going. I think his target was Rickmansworth for Christmas, so that's kind of, we got that together, so that'll be good. So I'll see you guys then. Look after yourselves. Take care. Bye bye.